with another episode of How to with Master Vizay. And today, you're going to learn about why wealthy people don't spend their money. Isn't that a good topic? Well, yeah, of course, because as we are faced with times hard to deal with, and we know that money can be hard to come by for a majority of people on average. It's only a small few that are wealthy. So what we want to do is capsulate on the basics of emulating what the well-to-do do with their money. It doesn't matter how large or how small, but we want to emulate exactly what they do with their money. And when we master this, we would be able to be successful financially. Now, first off, uh, we want to know how. Have you ever thought about being wealthy? Well, that's always a question that comes up. I know I've thought about being wealthy. How about you? Here are a few simple rules that you can follow if you want to be wealthy. Rule number 1, eliminate high interest credit debt. What do you mean? We all tend to have credit debt that sometimes can get out of hand. Sometimes could even cause you to not be able to pay for that brand new car that you want or that brand new home. So when you have bad credit debt, it tends to work against you. So the first thing you want to do is get rid of high interest credit debt. Well, we talked about why, because high interest debt is a money trap. The first thing you should do is to pay off your credit card debt, because most credit card companies are charging high interest fees in the amounts of anywhere from 15, 19, and sometimes 23%. And some may charge even higher than that. Now, to avoid that money trap, I guarantee you that if you remove those credit card debts, those high interest loans, and we all know the companies that offer $20 until, or not 20, $200 till payday. And then next thing you know, when payday come, you're paying $450. That's over 100% interest. So get rid of those, stay away from those. And I guarantee the same increments in which you have been paying the companies will be then reversed back into your pockets. And that will be the best segue for the next section, because wealthy people understand the principles of not getting into high interest debt, the importance of saving money. Well, if we're saving money, we're not paying high interest debts, then we are advancing to the next step financially. So I would say, whether you have 15,000 and high interest debt, there are companies that are out there that could help you with lowering this high interest debt, and sometimes up to 35%. So you might want to give it a try. I'll leave the link in the description below. Now, rule number 2, we want to build a safety net with savings. Some of you may think of a safety net as a way to pretty much have your money maybe somewhere sitting around, or maybe invested in gold or jewelry. Some people think of that. But a more effective way is to save up about 6 months worth of savings. Okay. Now, building a safety net can avoid unforeseen expenses. And as we talked about earlier, these unforeseen expenses can cause problems when they just come up and you're not expecting it, whether it be from an emergency medical, whether it be from a lack of employment. All these things contribute to the importance of having a safety net. And furthermore, wealthy people rarely run out of money. Okay? And you're probably thinking, well, when you have a lot of money, you don't run out. But that's not true. There are people out there who've had a lot of money who all of a sudden one day they were a millionaire and then a year or two later they're broke. But there's a difference between wealth and rich. A person that's wealthy does not run out of money. And it's because these principles that we're discussing here in the video is the reason why they don't run out of money. Well, wealthy people tend to balance their savings, okay? And when they are saving their funds, they usually keep their funds saved in a high interest savings account, okay? Now, some of you may think, how is that so? Well, look at the banks, your local banks. They tend to offer 0.03% interest on savings, which is really 3 cents to a dollar. And most of us are discouraged of keeping our money in banks because the interest is so low, you're not really benefiting from keeping your money there. So people tend to look for other avenues and other ways of earning money. Well, a good way is to look and invest in high interest bearing accounts. A few examples of these companies or organizations that offer high interest bearing accounts, and you'd be surprised. One of them is American Express, which pays a whopping 3.8% annual yield to their customers. Okay. The second company is Capital One. They pay their account holders in the amount of 3.7% interest in the annual percentage yield. The third company is Texas Capital Bank, which pays their account holders a whopping 4.4% APY. Now, lastly, Genius Bank, which you probably never heard of, they pay their account holders the most, coming in 4.5% APY. And you cannot beat that. On average, that's 4,500% more than your average bank of 3 cents. You're getting like $4.50, $4.50 to the 100. Now, that may not seem much, but if you continue to save and invest, that can be a game changer, especially when you are needing an emergency or needing funds to fall back on. Now, rule number 3, be smart about spending. Now, all of us have this habit of, we go into the store for one thing and then we end up getting more than what we went in there for. Okay. And this could be a plaguing situation to your financial stability, especially when you're on a budget. Why should we be smart shoppers? Well, picture if you were making 30,000, 50,000, or even 75,000 a year. One of the best returns you could ever receive on your money is to become a smart spender. Because all of the money that you would be spending away and wasting away could be obtained just inadvertently by watching what you spend. When you go in a store to get the three items you mentioned, milk, eggs, and cheese, then that's what you should get. Get what you're going to the store to get. Be disciplined. If you may see that extra item or two or three that you say, oh, well, I'll get this, I'll get that. I guarantee you, if you stay disciplined and shop smart, you too will be well on your way to becoming a good saver and doing what wealthy people do. Wealthy people keep a close eye on their expenses. Wealthy people also understand that overpaying is a non-starter. Now, let's give an example, right? All of us have to travel. Most of us have cars. One of the things that is essential for driving is having car insurance. Now, something as simple as overpaying for car insurance can be detrimental to your wallet. And one of the things you want to do is make sure you're not overpaying for any extra expenses or any useless expenses, things like gym memberships. You get my point, but car insurance is a necessity. Just make sure whatever you do, when you get your car insurance every month or so, do a price comparison just to check and see if you are not overpaying for car insurance. And a perfect example that a perfect tool you can use by checking each month to see if you're overpaying for car insurance. I will leave that link in the description and you can check it out and you can use it regularly. You can compare what you're paying and then to whatever's on the market. And if you are overpaying, I advise you to immediately make adjustments. Now, rule number 4, you want to invest instead of spend. Now, some of you may find this challenging because what if you were brought up and you didn't have much? The first thing you would want to do instinctually is to go out and buy and shop and get the things you haven't had, whether it be the latest designer shoes or whether it be the latest designer outfit. But what's the difference between just going to a secondhand store and buying you a good pair of jeans? Or better yet, you can buy a brand new pair of shoes. Just don't spend top dollar for it. If you get you a reasonable pair of shoes that's built to last and you have the reasonable amount of clothing that you need, you have no need to overspend in that area. And guess what? All of that money can be invested. Okay? Now, we know that wealthy people spend their money where it works best. And so should you. Well, also, investing wisely and is the main ingredient to building financial wealth. And investing wisely is the cornerstone to building generational wealth. You should put your money where it works for you 24/7, 7 days a week. Furthermore, you should spend your extra money on long-term investments that can build generational wealth. You don't have to start investing with a lot. That's the thing. Most people get confused or they come to realize that, hey, I don't have much money to invest. Well, in fact, you do. You have extra money laying around. Let's say you have about $5 a week. Well, if you add that up, that's about $20 a month. You can start investing as little as $20 a month. You put that money aside, and slowly but surely, you can begin to increase that amount. So let's say that you end up getting your amounts to $20 a week. Now that's pretty good. First, you started off at $20 a month. Now you increased it to $20 a week. So, with that being said, that is a good start. It doesn't take much to do that. But the ultimate goal, if you can get it to where you are investing $20 a day, then you're definitely well on your way to becoming financially successful and building generational wealth. Now, these tips can help you understand the basic meaning of why wealthy people don't spend their money. Now, this video is not to tell you how you should or shouldn't spend your money. Rather, this video the goal is to help you to become a wiser spender and a great investor. If you follow these principles, you will be well on your way to building that generational wealth that you've all longed for. And most importantly, becoming financially free. Now, once again, thank you for your time here with me on How To with Master Vizay. And if you like this video, you will definitely like that video there. So, till next time, thank you and have a great day.